Hey guys, it's Eric with the Miller Park Minute, where we're throwing strikes and getting likes, hitting dingers and getting listeners. Back again with another episode. Yes, this is your only daily Brewers podcast. Every morning, 5:30 a.m. Central Standard Time is when we upload. We are on YouTube, Spotify, Google, Amazon, Castbox, iHeartRadio, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and of course Apple Podcasts. We do videos pretty much every day. If you want to interact and be a part of those, you can join me on Twitter, Miller Minute, and we also do a live session every Saturday night, either after the game or at 4 o'clock Central Standard Time. We do have a SeatGeek code, Miller Park Minute at SeatGeek, saves you $20 off. And you can also support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Miller Park Minute. That being said, let's get into today's episode, the first start for Corbin Burnes. So we're going to talk about the game a little bit and talk about some things that Corbin Burnes said after the game in the press conference. So Corbin Burnes got the start today. We got a solo shot from Christian Yelich hitting a dinger out of the gate. Good to see. He went 2 for 3 with an RBI. So that was good. Also, William Contreras got in there went 2 for 3 as well. It was a loss for the Brewers, 7-4. Moves us to 3-4 in Cactus League play. And again, this stuff is all minute. But we did get to see some. We got to see Naquin, we got to see Tellez, we got to see Adames. Adames had 2 hits today, which was really good. Yelich with the 2 hits, obviously. Contreras had 2 hits as well. None for Naquin. Brian Anderson had 2 hits as well. Toro, which I didn't know Toro was a switch hitter, so that's awesome. That's huge. And then Perkins was in there. He didn't have any hits. He does not have any hits so far this spring. Again, the big piece was Corbin Burnes going out there, and like I was talking about yesterday, he went 2.1, so he got up 3 times, which is important for just getting ready for the season. That's an important factor. So then we saw Gasser. Gasser gave up a few runs. We saw Junk, Uribe, Woosley, and Venerno. Not a lot of positives with the pitching side. I mean, it's just these guys getting reps, so they're going to get lit up. They're going to have bad outings. Corbin Burnes giving up 2 runs today. Kind of is what it is. We got to see him. That's got to see him. He got 2 strikeouts, walk, and 2 earned runs. So that is what it is, folks. Not much more we can say about that game than that. But Yelich leading off with a home run was huge. Burnes striking out a pair. Sky Bolt's been hitting the ball. He's been pretty impressive so far. So that was good to see. Another game with the Rangers. So I mean, I think we've won one and lost one against the Rangers so far this spring. I don't remember. Anywho, the more important part was the Corbin Burnes talking after the game. He obviously, the reporters talked to him, and he was talking about some crucial things. He was talking about getting William Contreras ready. Now with the pitch com and calling the game, the catcher's really got to learn his game and how he wants it called. There's not really a lot of time with this new system with the pitch clock for shakeoffs and stuff like that. So if you've got a 4 or 5 pitch repertoire, you're going to have a little more trouble. You're going to have to try and figure out a system, numbers or calls or whatever, and your catcher's really going to have to know you. So that's what Corbin Burnes was focusing on. He was talking about getting to know William Contreras and just kind of getting ready. That's kind of his goals for the remainder, and just ramping up the amount of pitches he's able to throw. And he actually said he's felt the best he's felt in a while. So it's a good little 1 minute and 56-second clip. So just under 2 minutes. And he said a lot there. He really did. He decompressed his start and kind of said, "Hey, it's just getting the feeling back out there, and throwing live baseball games, and talk really a little bit about the technology. Burnes was one of these guys that we talked about with the amount of time he takes and the violations he could potentially have, but he seemed to adjust very well to it and seemed to do excellent. So let's notch that up as a victory today. Corbin Burnes got out there, got a feel for it, didn't get any violations or anything like that. So progress to build upon, more progress to build upon, and that's great. That's what we want to see. And Christian Yelich coming out with a home run and a 2-for-3 day. Doesn't get much better than that. So we talked a little bit yesterday about the opening day roster minus Tyrone Taylor. Our friends over at brewerfanatic.com. Yes, I talk about them all the time, but that's because I'm a member of that site and I thoroughly enjoy it. So obviously without Tyrone Taylor, it gives you more options. Obviously at this juncture, William Contreras and Caratini, we already talked about. Rowdy, Luis Urias, Willie Adames, Brian Anderson, Christian Yelich, Garrett Mitchell, and Jesse Winker are going to be outfielders. In the leaves room, Abraham Toro, Bryce Turing, Mike Brasso, Keston Hiura, and Luke Voigt. There are some prospects, Weimer and Frelick, plus Naquin. So there's a lot of guys that really, really kind of can step up here and gain those spots. And we kind of talked about that yesterday. This is going to be the battle right now. This is the primary battle for position. Then you got your secondary battle, which is going to be the bullpen. The bullpen more or less has some defined guys to it. These guys, a lot of these names are fresh new names outside of your Jesse Winker. That's an established star, so we expect to see him. And then you're going to have your Urias. I would see Luke Voigt as a secondary option. I talked about that yesterday. I think Luke Voigt is a great option for secondary first baseman. I really don't think you can use Keston there. But I mean, I think it's going to be something that we're going to have. I think he's going to be there. I just don't think you want to see that. And we'll probably break this down 100 more times. Probably. I mean, we're going to talk about this nonstop. The other notes today really is kind of just they're talking to everybody. We're getting more of a feel for what's going on. We're getting more videos, more reaction right from spring training. So Dom put out his list for an opening day roster, so we're going to go through that. This is version 2, March 2nd for Dom Contronio. He's got Christian Yelich in left field, Willie Adames shortstop, Rowdy Tellez first baseman, William Contreras catcher, DH Jesse Winker, Brian Anderson at third base, Garrett Mitchell center field, Luis Urias at second base, and Sal Frelick, number 9 at right field. He's got infielders Mike Brasso, backup catcher is Caratini, utility is Keston Hiura, Luke Voigt he added to the roster. We've got Corbin Burnes, Brandon Woodruff, Freddie Peralta, Eric Lauer, and Wade Miley. In the bullpen, he's got Matt Bush, Javi Guerra, Adrian Hauser, Hobie Milner, Joel Payamps, Peter Strzelecki, Devin Williams, and Gus Varland. So he's advancing too. He's saying, hey, some of these guys are going to get pushed to a more predominant role now that we've seen these injuries. I like his lineup. I really do. I like what he's got going on. It still gives you the backup first baseman, which I think is really important. You don't want to put all that work on Rowdy. Not that Rowdy can't do it. Rowdy wants to go out there and play every day, but it's good to have that that backup. Players go into slumps. That's part of it. So you're going to see that no matter what. Sal Frelick, I like that addition. Previously, he had Terang there, but I think we've got infielders covered right now, so I don't think you need to push Terang, maybe. And outfield depth is more important. Joel Payamps and Gus Verland are kind of outlier players that right now they're learning what they have. We're learning a lot of these guys. Abner Uribe is going to be a pitcher in the big leagues this year. That is going to happen. So we look forward to seeing it. He's been doing really good. He's got nasty stuff. But I don't think he's an opening day candidate. At this juncture, I think we'll see him later in the season. Let him work some stuff out and get ready to go in the get him ready to go in the minors and then bring him up. That's the nice part is this gives us guys to call up when people go down or, if somebody's struggling. Kind of play that option game, So that being said, the other big news really is the top 30 prospect list for the 2023 season. So this comes straight off of MLB.com. So if you haven't already seen it, here's a look at the top Brewers prospects. According to MLB.com, Jackson Chourio, MLB number 8, Sal Frelick, number 30, Joey Wiemer, number 90, Garrett Mitchell, who's already on the team, so Bryce Terang are all the top Brewers prospects. Chourio jumped, so he's the biggest jump. He went from number 9 to number 1. The second biggest was the fall was Joe Gray Jr. went from number 13 to not rated. Yeah, so we've got some good things working with the prospects. I mean, let's worry about the Major League Club. But if we end up using some of these guys, I don't see a Jackson Chourio playing this year. I know a lot of people, even Dom was one who said he was going to. I just don't. I can't fathom it. I can't see it. Tyrone Taylor, a lot of people are taking that hard. Personally, at this juncture, I do not. I'm not too partial to Tyrone Taylor. Like I could take it one way or another. I mean, Tyrone Taylor has been good to a certain degree, but there's room for improvement there. There's definitely room for improvement there. I don't think it's going to be a make or break without him this season. So, apologize. I got a little catch of the yawn there. But yeah, Burnes had a good first outing, getting his feet wet. There's really not a lot going on, guys. We are in that period where we're going through the motions of spring training games, and not a lot happening. And that's going to be what it's going to be. We're going to see a lot of this going forward. Yankees big prospect Anthony Velope hit his first spring home run, so that was a big deal. Shohei Ohtani pitched 2 1/3 or 3 1/3 and didn't give up any runs. Just trying to highlight anything. Scherzer has been speaking very highly of the pitch clock. He says it gives him a level of control of the game, which is really. He was one of the big proponents against it, so it's good to see people coming on board. I'm still, my jury's still out. I mean, today's game. Let's take a look. Time of game. It's a statistic. We were 2 hours and 47 minutes. I was gonna say it felt a little longer today. They've been complaining about the weather down there, and I just want to say that you guys don't have snow on the ground, so stop complaining on the radio to people who have snow on the ground and are looking at snow. Yes, a lot of our snow is melted, but regardless. So yeah, right now, guys, we are kind of in that segment. And like I said, I keep saying this, we're in this segment here where we don't have a lot of content. They're just not producing. We're going to get into more game days. We're going to talk more about the salary cap, salary floor in the coming days. And we might try and get a special guest on next week sometime. So I will keep you posted on that, guys. As far as that goes, that's all I got for this evening. Just a little brief one. Sometimes these things are going to be bite-sized. Sometimes they're going to be, a mouthful. So this is a leaner cut, as the butcher would like to say. This is a little bit leaner cut of the beef. So not as much to chew on here today. All right. At that juncture, we got to get the heck out of here. So thank you for watching. As always, guys, remember to rate and review, leave a like, subscribe if that's something you're into, and share this with your friends. Let them know that there's a Brewers podcast and it's out every day. All right. Thanks for watching. You guys have a great rest of your day. Go Brewers.
Thank you for watching the Miller Park Minute. Go Brewers.